Good morning, grade 5 students. I hope that you are all well. I miss you so much and I hope to see you very soon. Today we will start explaining a new lesson in chapter 4, How do plants get and use energy. So please open your books to page 151. Today we will understand how do plants get their energy, what are the tissues in plants' leaves, and we will solve some exercises. You know that for living things to be able to live normally, they need energy. For example, you as students, to be able to run, you need energy. The same is for plants. Plants get their energy from the sun. Now, us as humans, how do we get energy from plants? We get them by eating these plants. So when you eat a salad, for example, you get the energy stored in the vegetables of this salad. Now let's solve page 151, numbers 1 and 2. Please make sure to copy the answers on your books. Question 1. Where does the stored energy in the cabbage leaves come from? So it comes from the sun. Number 2. How does a plant get its food? A plant makes its own food. It cannot get it from somewhere. It makes its own food. Since the plant makes its own food, which part of a plant makes the most of this food? It's the leaves. So the plant makes its food in the leaves. Let's now understand what are all living things made of. All living things, whether human, animal, or plant, are made out of cells, and a group of cells is called a tissue. So a cell can be compared to an atom in a non-living thing. It's a small particle that makes up the living thing. So the group of these small particles together, they form a tissue. You can see the cells and tissues of a plant in front of you. One cell is a small particle and the group of cells form the tissue. Now let's understand what is a plant's leaf made of. Since the leaf is a part of the plant, so it's a part of the living thing, which means that it's gonna be made of cells and tissues. Now let's learn what the tissues that form a plant leaf are. We have four main tissues. They are the epidermis, the palisade, the spongy, and the veins. The epidermis tissue, it's the tissue or the group of cells that exist on the outer part of the leaf, on the outside layer of the leaf. It protects the plant, and it also has pores or small openings that allow gases to get in and out of the plant. The palisade tissue is the layer under the epidermis, and it is where food of the plant is made. The spongy tissue is the group of cells that are under the palisade, and the cells that form this tissue have spaces between them, and in these spaces air can pass through. The veins, they are in a plant's leaf. They are formed from thin and long cells that form tubes, and these tubes carry food and water throughout the plant. The following picture shows you the representation of all of the tissues that exist in a plant leaf. First, we have the epidermis tissue, below it the palisade tissue, then under the palisade we have the spongy tissue, and we also have veins which form tubes. Now let's solve exercises on your books, page 152, number 3. The lines in this leaf are its vessels. You can see the lines on the picture that I inserted in this slide. What part of your body can best be compared to a plant's vessels? So as we said, the vessels or the veins of the plant, they carry water and food throughout the plant. In our body, we have tubes or vessels that have the same function, but instead of carrying water, they carry blood. These tubes are called blood vessels. Let's solve Do the Math in front of you on your books. You have a graph that shows you how much water a plant loses each time of the day. If we follow the graph, we can see, for example, that at 10 a.m. the plant loses 210 grams of water. Let's solve the exercises. Number 1. During what part of the day did the plant lose the most water? The most means the peak or the highest point of the green curve. As you can see circled in blue in front of you, this is the maximum. To read the time of the day, we go down from the maximum to reach the time, so we get 4 p.m. The second part of the question is the least water. The least means the minimum or the lowest point of the green curve. Circled in red in front of you is the minimum. We go down from this point to reach 10 p.m. Part 2. What might explain the pattern of water loss shown? The pattern means the shape of the green curve. It goes up and then down. What explains this shape? The plant loses more water during the warmest parts of the day. This is why the curve goes up and then down, because first the sun is coming up to reach its peak and it gives the most heat. Then the sun sets, so we have no more sun and the heat will go down, which means less water will evaporate. Now, as homework, I need you to fill in the blank in this following picture. The outside layer of flat cells make up the food is made in the cells of the cells in have spaces between them that air can pass through, and finally contain very thin, long cells that form hollow tubes.